Feeling better?
Trying. The last thing anyone around here needs is me feeling sorry for myself.
It must be rough not remembering anything about yourself.
I'm so grateful to you and Brian. I couldn't have asked to have been rescued by nicer, more generous people.
Oh, well, don't look at me. Brian's the one that fished you out of the sea.
Oh, you've been great too, Liz. I mean, if ever I get home, wherever that is, I won't ever forget what you've done for me.
Oh, don't mention it.
I just wish that I hadn't remembered the man I was in love with.
Why is that?
Because it makes it harder to realize that he's never gonna come looking for me.
Are you sure he's dead?
It's the one clear memory that I have. And I can picture him dying in my arms. Whoever he was, I've lost him.
What kind of weirdo strolls in town claiming to be Grace's real husband, then hangs out by volunteering to work on Sam and Grace's new house?
Hey, forget about it. All right, it's between them. Besides, from what Sam says, this guy's story checks out.
I don't care what checks out. Doesn't set right with me. Sam and Grace have been through enough. Wish to hell this guy'd never shown up.
Grace, what are you doing?
Sam, he waved at me. I mean, I didn't want to be rude, especially when he's working on a new house. You don't even want me to talk to him, do you?
That's up to you. But I do have a question for you. David claimed that you felt something when he kissed you. That he felt it in his heart. Did you, Grace? Did kissing David bring back old memories? Old feelings?
You know, I left our wedding paperwork in the kitchen. We'll be right back.
I mean, Teresa can't sign a new marriage license application when she's already married to Julian.
Well, look, I'm just hoping that she threw Ivy and Gwen's mother off when she said that she accidentally signed Julian's annulment papers. Now, all he has to do is get another set of papers filed, and then his marriage to Teresa can be dissolved. And no one else ever has to find out about this.
Now, you know, Winnie, that's a lot of hoping and wishing. And I don't even want to think about what Ethan would do if he were to find out.
I cannot believe that you tricked me into signing this marriage license.
Well, I don't see any reason to wait, Pookie. So our wedding is tomorrow.
But...
No buts. Told you I spoke to that judge that's a friend of mine. He got rid of all that messy red tape.
But we can't. Ivy's contesting the divorce.
Well, it doesn't matter. You see, I hired an attorney of my own, and he said that as far as the courts are concerned, you are divorced. There is nothing standing in our way. So by this time tomorrow, I will be the second Mrs. Julian Crane. Oh, isn't it wonderful?
Something went on between Julian and Teresa Lopez Fitzgerald in Bermuda. And I want you to find out what it was. There were annulment papers on Julian's desk downstairs, and Teresa's signature was on them.
Her signature?
Yes. She claims she signed them by accident, but I'm not so sure.
Then you think Mr. Crane and the young lady could be married?
Oh. No, that's absurd even for Julian, but they are hiding something. And I think my son Ethan deserves to know what it is before he makes the colossal mistake of taking Teresa as his bride. I want you to find out what Julian and Teresa's secret is. And I don't want you to come back until you do.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of the bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
Grace, you didn't answer my question. Did David's kiss stir up some old memories? Do you remember being married to him now?
No, Sam, I don't remember. And I didn't feel anything when he kissed me.
Well, something's different. I can tell. Now, Grace, what does this guy mean to you?
Sam, he's my first husband. I mean, he's my legal husband. That doesn't mean you have to hate him.
I don't hate him. But I'm not gonna stand by and let this guy try to take you away from me and our family.
He knows he can't, because I made it perfectly clear to him that I want him to move on with his life without me. Sam, I love you. And in my heart, you are my husband, not David. But, you know, that doesn't mean we can't be civil or even nice. And he's just doing what we would hope any man who had lost his wife would do.
Maybe.
You did everything you could to prove that he was making this up, and you couldn't. So if this is true and we know that it is, then he must be decent. Because I wouldn't have married him, I wouldn't have fallen in love with him if he wasn't.
Well, I'm afraid Julian has frozen my assets, but this should finance your trip.
I'm sure it'll more than cover all my expenses, Mrs. Crane.
Well, I'm going to fight this so-called divorce of Julian's, whatever it takes. And if I protect my son in the process, then the cost is more than worth it.
I'll call you when I get to Bermuda.
Well, it's a small island. It shouldn't take you too long to figure out what Julian and Teresa have been hiding. Thank you. You can go. If I am right, Teresa, and you are hiding something from me and from Ethan, I'm going to fill your life with more pain than any pill can ever take away.
So, why don't you look through the rest of this paperwork, and I'll finish filling out the new marriage license application.
Sure.
You know, I really appreciate you not blowing the whistle on Teresa.
Blowing the whistle. I call it more like detonating an atom bomb. You know, Ethan would completely lose it if he ever found out that Teresa and Julian were married. And if Julian ever copped to the fact that he and Teresa spent the night together.
If only Teresa hadn't been drunk.
That's supposed to make it all right? Come on, when you get real, this is serious. And we don't even know how many people at this point suspect or know about this. I mean, take Gwen's mom, for example. I mean, if she keeps pushing Julian to get married, and Teresa's marriage to Julian's bound to come out. And that's it. Everybody's lives just go up in smoke.
But Dumpling, if we get married tomorrow and we won't have time to plan a proper ceremony, what about the wedding of your dreams?
Oh, well, my only dream is to marry you sooner as opposed to later. Do you have a problem with that, Pookie?
Oh, no, Lovey. I'm counting the milliseconds until you're legally mine. It's just that what you're proposing seems a bit hasty, unnecessarily precipitous.
Tomorrow. Julian, we are getting married tomorrow. I am not about to wait for Ivy to stop contesting the divorce. Oh, she'll be dragging those big paralyzed feet of hers forever. No, and if there's going to be a legal battle, I am going to fight it as Mrs. Julian Crane. It'll give me much more credibility in the courtroom.
Well, I really don't see...
Is there something you're not telling me, Julian?
Oh, nothing, Sugar Plum. You know everything about me.
You certainly are acting very peculiar.
Mm-hmm.
First, I thought it must be about your sister's passing, but then, we both know it couldn't be about that. And then you've been even more nervous ever since you got home. In fact, I thought you were going to have a coronary when Ivy saw Teresa's name on those annulment papers of yours.
Teresa already explained that. She didn't realize what she was signing.
Yes, you both hastened to explain that. That isn't why you're stalling about marrying me. Is it, Julian? Are you married to Teresa?
I can't believe they're making us fill out a new marriage license application. But, I guess this is the last time I'm gonna do it, so I guess I can push on through it.
You know what, man? I've never seen one of those things. Let me take a look.
Okay, Teresa, just how are you going to sign a new application when you're already married to Julian?
Wait, that is the least of my problems. Okay, hopefully Julian is working on a new set of annulment papers, so it shouldn't be long before I can marry Ethan legally.
I really hate to be the one to mention this to you, Teresa, but so far everything you've hoped for has backfired. What makes you think this annulment's going to go through in time?
Because Rebecca won't let up on Julian to marry her. Okay, even if he didn't want to rush things for me, okay, he has to save his own neck. So, once Julian gets a new set of annulment papers, I will sign them, Julian will have them filed, and Ethan will never know that I married Julian and slept with him.
Me? Married to Teresa Lopez Fitzgerald? Oh, you can't be serious.
Do I look like I'm kidding?
I thought we put that ridiculous hypothesis to rest.
Oh, yes, because Teresa said that she didn't know what she was signing. Why should I believe any word out of that little tart's mouth?
Well, I won't argue with you there. The girl's clearly pathological. But in this case, she is telling the truth. She thought she was signing a loan agreement. I mean, for heaven's sake, she even produced the check that I wrote to help Ethan start his own law practice. Do you honestly think that there's enough alcohol in the world to induce me to marry someone of her ilk?
Well...
Besides, aren't you my one and only lovey-dovey oodle-poodle?
Well, I thought I was.
Well, rest assured you are. You are my own little sex goddess. I wouldn't dream of marrying anyone else.
No, Pookie, that's all I want to hear. Besides, I would think that you would be just as anxious as I am to make our relationship legal. Well, it's only my status as your wife that keeps me from having to testify against you should anyone ask any questions about your sister's accidental death. Because if we weren't married, well, then I'd be forced to tell everything I know. You know, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. He did it! Julian Crane arranged for the murder of his only sibling, his sister Sheridan. You should have married me when I told you to, Pookie. Will you excuse me, Pookie? I have a zillion calls to make. So much to do, so little time.
Harper, it's me. Where in the hell are those new annulment papers? Listen, if you don't want your life destroyed along with mine,
You'll get them to me right now.
Don't cry. Everything's gonna work out.
You've got no idea how much I want to believe you, Brian. I just don't see there being any chance of that happening. I mean, every time I see the face of the man I loved, I just feel sadder. You know, I didn't just lose him when he died. I lost any chance that I had of finding out who I was before you found me at sea.
In some ways, I don't mind that this guy David came to town.
Thought you were on my brother's side.
You know I am. Sam means the world to me. It's just that this guy, finding the woman he loved and lost after all these years, it's proof that miracles can happen.
Your story's a little different, buddy.
Why? Because Sheridan's body was identified?
She was cremated, Luis.
Yeah. I'm not so sure it was Sheridan anymore.
Where's all this coming from? I thought you said yourself how futile it was to hope that Sheridan survived. You even told the Bermuda police to stop distributing that flyer with her picture on it.
I know. It's just watching this guy, David, and realizing he had faith for over 20 years that Grace was out there somewhere. Now, why can't it happen to me, too?
Clinging a mighty thin thread if you're basing your hopes on Hastings. Personally, I wouldn't bet my lunch money on anything that had to do with them. I mean, what kind of guy, spends his free time volunteering to help build a house that his wife plans to live in with another man? Nobody's that noble. I'm not getting anywhere with this. Let's go get a cup of coffee.
I keep thinking about what Luis said earlier down at the station. About how each of us has only one really great love in a lifetime.
Yeah, so I guess he was talking about Sheridan.
He was, but I couldn't help but think about you and David. I mean, like you said, you must have had strong enough feelings for this guy to marry him in the first place, but what if you get your memory back and it turns out that he is the great love of your life, Grace?
Sam, I love you now. Every fiber of my being.
That's not what I asked.
Then I can't answer your question. Because I don't remember my life before I met you. Unlike you with Ivy.
Grace, where did that come from?
Sam, you brought it up. How many times have I heard you say you never get over your first love? So does that mean you've never gotten over Ivy? Is she the great love of your life?
I'll tell you exactly what I told Luis. Ivy's not the great love of my life. You are.
And are you sure about that?
Surer than anything else in this crazy world. I'm way past any feelings I ever had for Ivy.
Then why can't you accept that you're the love of my life? Why are you so worried that I'm gonna remember some old feelings I had for David?
Look, it's not you. It's the way this guy talks about you two. I mean, he's so possessive, like he has a right to you. Like he knows things about you that I never could. And kissing you, now that was crossing the line, and he knows it.
Sam, I know. And David explained that he was kissing me because he was trying to jog my memory, and it didn't work. And I am so sorry that Kay had to witness it, and I'm so sorry that she had to tell you about it. But maybe now you know how it felt every time I walked in on you kissing Ivy. It hurt. Just like it hurt you to find out that I kissed David. The difference is that David knows he doesn't have a chance with me.
Grace, what are you saying?
Well, to be honest, I don't think that it's David that's a threat to this relationship. It's Ivy.
Hum all the wedding marches you like, Rebecca. It will be a cold day in hell before you walk down the aisle with my husband.
Really? They're predicting lovely weather tomorrow. Julian signed the marriage license. We're going ahead with the ceremony.
My dead body.
Oh, Ivy, I think it's enough that you're paralyzed and in a wheelchair. And my attorney says that you can contest this divorce from now until kingdom come, but there is no reason why Julian cannot marry me immediately.
How little you know. You know, being Mrs. Julian Crane comes with all sorts of unexpected baggage, Rebecca. As my father used to say, be careful what you ask for. You might just get it.
Anybody else want something to drink?
I'm okay.
I'm all right.
Thanks. I'll take a soda.
All right.
Okay, Teresa, it's your turn to sign the new marriage license application.
I'll be right there.
Teresa, you cannot sign that. It's illegal.
Whitney, will you cut it out? I told you there's nothing wrong with me signing it. It's filing it that could get me into trouble.
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter because I don't have any other choice.
Well, you better hurry, Teresa, unless you want me to forge your signature. Sooner? Great. Well, I think I'm going to run this down to the courthouse right now. I've got a friend down there who can file this first thing in the morning.
No, you can't do that.
Why not? Why don't you want our marriage license filed?
It's not that I don't want you to file the marriage license. It's just that I want to be there when you do it. And I can't take the time today, what with trying to throw a whole new wedding together on the spur of the moment. You know, maybe tomorrow.
Well, sure, if that's what you want. I mean, I guess it's my fault anyway that we have to fill this out again. If I hadn't been such a jerk on the day we were supposed to become husband and wife, I'd probably be married right now. Think you'd forgive me for that?
How the hell am I supposed to calm down when Rebecca has me over a barrel about marrying her tomorrow? Must I remind my own attorney that I'm already married to at least one, perhaps two women? I feel like one of those circus performers on a unicycle trying to keep 100 plates in the air at the same time.
Now, your getting upset won't help things. I already told you I'm having a messenger bring over more annulment papers as soon as the office opens in Bermuda.
That means my annulment to Teresa can go through tomorrow?
I can't promise that.
For God's sake, Harper, Rebecca tricked me into signing that marriage license, and she won't let up until she's my wife. I suppose I'll just have to play along, clean up this mess later.
Bigamy is against the law. If your marriage to both women becomes known, it could mean jail time.
Well, I'd rather go to jail for bigamy than killing my own sister.
Well, you have a point.
On the other hand, if Luis finds out I married his baby sister, he'll kill me without asking any questions. That is, if Rebecca hasn't already shot me. It's better than the electric chair. I'll take my chances with bigamy.
Maybe that's the reason I can't remember any more than I have. I don't want to remember because I have nothing to go back to. And maybe I was so devastated over losing this man that I tried to take my own life.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because you have too much spirit. Look, if you'd have wanted to die, you had ample opportunity to do so before and after I fished you out of the sea. So no. I think you loved your life. Even if you did suffer a great loss.
I guess I'll never know.
You know, maybe you don't realize it, Diana, but you're not much different than the people you've met here on this island.
But you all know who you are, where you've been.
Yeah.
but all of us. Me, Liz, Doc. Even though we all come from different places, we all kind of ended up here the same way. You know, leaving our past far behind us. See, you didn't have that choice. But take my word for it, it's not a bad place to start over. So we take care of each other here, Diana. And we'll take care of you too. At times you may feel lost, but you're never gonna feel alone again. Not ever.
Hey.
Hey, 2 cups of your high octane.
Okay. How you doing, Luis?
Okay. Thanks for asking.
Don't forget what I said, okay?
I won't. I'll call you if I need anything.
Okay.
This guy has a thing for getting on the Bennett brothers' nerves.
Hank, let it go. Hastings has got as much right to be here as anyone.
Hey, I'll have that order ready for you in just a minute, okay?
Thanks. I'm sure the crew will be happy to see me when I get back.
It's really nice that you're helping out Sam and Grace with their new house.
It's not a big deal. I don't mean to interrupt.
Then don't.
Thank you.
Listen, we don't even really know each other, but I heard about what happened to your fiancé, and I wanted to say how sorry I am.
No, thanks.
I just want to say that I've been in a similar circumstance. I was sure I'd lost someone I loved, but I never gave up hope, and I ended up finding her.
That's what I'm telling you, Hank. Miracles do happen.
So says St. David.
Look, bro. I know you've got a problem with this Hastings guy. I'm telling you, he seems all right to me.
That's my point. Everything about the guy is so damn above reproach. Too good to be true, if you ask me. You know, something keeps nagging at me. David knew that Grace had gone to Boston. If you really try to look for her, why couldn't he find her? And when Sam rescued Grace from the fire and realized she had amnesia, he and the police turned New England inside out looking for someone who knew her. Where was David then?
Grace, I thought we resolved all this. Ivy isn't the love of my life. You are.
Well, does she know that?
Of course she does. Why would you even ask?
I keep remembering what you said to her in the hospital.
Ivy was fighting for her life. Eve asked me to talk to her to try to give her a reason to come out of her coma.
I guess I'm still insecure about Ivy. Like you are about David.
I didn't realize it was still so difficult.
I'm just trying to be completely honest, Sam. I think as long as we're honest, we'll be okay. But that's the key. Complete honesty. No secrets. As long as we do that, no one will ever be able to come between us.
I love you.
Thank you.
If honesty is the key to us staying together, then we don't have any problem. Ivy is out of my life forever. And you can take that to the bank. I'll never give you another reason to feel insecure.
Thank you.
But it's got to go both ways. Can you do the same? Can you tell me that David is out of your life forever?
I don't know if I can do that, Sam. Okay, it's not what you think. I don't love David. It's just He's the only link I have to my past. Sam, he can tell me things that I wanted to know about myself for so long.
If he understands that you love me, then why does he keep hanging around, refusing to leave Harmony?
You know, maybe he just needs some time to deal with his own feelings. I mean, at least we can give him that.
It's just the way that you keep seeing his side. As if you don't want him to leave. As if you don't mind if he's stuck around here in Harmony forever.
Well, maybe you're right, Sam. Maybe I don't want him to leave.
Will you talk to me after you've been First Lady of the Empire for a month? See how your feet feel after your 15th charity luncheon in spike heels. Tell me how you like smiling at everyone you see, remembering all their names and what they want from you, and who has the real power.
Oh, I'll know who has the real power. I will.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. My God, Julian, you look worse than usual. What's wrong? Is one of your dirty little secrets about to be exposed?
Hank, there's any number of reasons to explain why David didn't track down Grace in Boston after they got separated. Like, maybe he was out of the country on a photo shoot, and by the time he got back, Grace was already gone.
But wouldn't someone have recognized his description of her and led David to Sam?
You make it sound so easy. Boston's a big place. That was over 20 years ago. Not everyone had a computer back then.
Still, something about this whole scenario stinks.
No!
Beth's okay.
You check it out, I gotta run.
No. Please tell me that this is a mistake. You'll see, Whitney. Julian will get the annulment before anyone else ever realizes that he and I were married.
Now, are you sure that Ivy bought your story about why you signed those annulment papers?
Absolutely. She bought the whole thing hook, line, and sinker. Besides, she's got her hands full fighting Julian on his divorce. So, there's no way that she has any time to snoop around in my business.
Well, I just hope you're right. Because if she does, you're gonna lose everything you ever wanted.
I'm not the least bit upset. I just have a lot of things on my mind. Like a crippled ex-wife from hell charging around my home in a motorized wheelchair.
No, I'm not buying that, Julian. You're as nervous as an alley cat.
I have a lot of business concerns on my mind.
Oh, no doubt you do. Which is why I keep thinking about your extended stay in Bermuda. No doubt you accomplished a great deal down there. I mean, aside from our island divorce.
What are you getting at, Ivy?
I'm just marveling at the way you managed to keep all the balls in the air.
Back off, Ivy. I will not have you upsetting my future husband.
Go ahead and marry him, Rebecca. You'll find out soon enough that things aren't quite the way you thought they'd be. I wonder how long it will take you to realize you can't trust one word that comes out of Julian's mouth.
Lovebug and I have no secrets. We share everything.
What? Did he toss you a bone and tell you one of his itty-bitty secrets so that you would feel like he was taking you into his confidence? Mark my word, Rebecca, there's a lot more where that came from. If I were you, I'd watch my back. You don't want to get caught in Julian's crossfire.
You don't suppose she knows you killed Sheridan, do you?
Of course not. She couldn't.
You don't want him to leave?
Eventually. But I'd like for him to stay around long enough for me to find out something about my past. I mean, surely you can be patient enough for me to do that. Like Sam, he's an important photographer. I'm sure he's gonna have to go back to work. But please don't make me cut off the only connection I have to my past. Please.
If that's what you want, then I want it too.
Hey, you know, it's not like he's some kind of monster sent here to tear me away from you and my family. I know, it's a difficult situation. David's an open book. You know, I think one day we're gonna look back on all of this and see it as a positive experience. We'll see.
Beth, what is it? Is there anything I can do?
No. Louise. There isn't anything anybody can do.
I don't buy Luis's explanation. After Sam rescued Grace, she spent time in a major Boston hospital under her first name. If David really tried to find her, he would have been able to.
So you think I fit in around here, huh?
Fit in? But you've only been here a short time, and I can already tell that you're one of us.
Why? Because I'm stuck here? Because I have no place to go?
Like I said, this is not a bad place to be stranded. In fact, I have been officially appointed by the Tribal Council to offer you a permanent position here on the island with us. The island of people who have no one else and nowhere else to go.
Well, then it is my pleasure to accept your invitation.
Well, then it's official. You are one of us.
Thank you, I think.
Well, you're welcome, I think.
Careful, Brian. You're playing with fire.